Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blues Fans TV, and welcome to something special, something new. We're doing a podcast. It's going to be called the Blues Balls Podcast. Great name, I know. If you don't know what it is, probably don't Google it. But before we get into the podcast, or do. Before we get into that, we've got some special promos to give out first. So we have, if you want to get football merch, Chelsea merch, check the link in our description. We have a discount code for that, so it's BAG20. You can get all cool Chelsea merch from that store. And then the second one is Football Manager 21. If you want to get it a bit early, or if you want to get it on a discounted price, use the code BluesFansTV, and there's also a link in the description, so check them two out. Right. Let's get into the actual podcast. That's enough admin from me. Also, it isn't just me, because that'd be a very boring podcast. How are we doing, boys?
Yeah, I'm good. Online graduation yesterday. Absolutely underwhelming, but we move.
Oh, mate, right. I'm so gutted for you. That's horrible. Did you have a cap and gown and everything?
Hey, Zola popped up for like 10 seconds, so it was goated. I don't even mind. And apparently they're going to redo it again next year, so... Maybe if they remember us.
That ain't too bad then, I guess. Yeah, that's what. It's a bit of a sad way to start. Anyway, yeah, the podcast is it's all Chelsea stuff, all Chelsea news, and I guess we'll start with just some recent news. Currently, Twitter's blowing up because apparently Kante and Lampard have had a scrap, lads.
Apparently, but I don't believe it. Not for a second. It's the international break, and the deadest stories or the deadest topics always pop up in the international break. And I'm meant to believe someone's had a row with Kante. 5 years of watching this guy play football, I haven't seen him beef anybody unless I'm meant to believe this. Nah.
How is he going to scrap with anyone? It's ridiculous. It's one of them, and it's like you just said, it's like news has been a bit dry. What can we do to spice it up? Let's throw Kante in the mix.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Like, I think the reports came out of France, but then Matt Law literally, as clear as Matt Law can ever be, said this is absolute like horse crap. It's just not true. And yeah, I mean it's good. I mean it's although I do think I see what Matt Law didn't specify whether Kante didn't actually ask to go to a wedding or whether Lampard didn't have a problem with it. Because I still find it weird if Kante is trying to go to a wedding during the season. I mean, you're only a footballer for what, 10, 15 years? You can miss out on a wedding now and again, unless it's maybe his brother or something. But other than that, I don't know. Do you really need to go to a wedding? You've missed half of last season as it is. Maybe Lampard did have a problem with it. I was like, mate, you already missed all of last season.
Yeah, we had to like just disprove that one because I've seen that one so much on Twitter today. It annoyed me more than anything. In other news,
for sure,
people trying to rile up this calm ship, I'll call it. I was going to say sinking, but that ain't Chelsea. Those are other clubs right now.
Definitely not us, lads. In other news, last night, did you watch the Germany game by any chance?
No, but I saw a bit of the highlights.
It was such a class game. It really was.
Apparently Chelsea were carrying Germany
in periods. If it weren't for the Chelsea boys, the Swiss would have won, 100%.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I did see, though. I saw Rudiger's elbow in the 94th minute. That was
peak,
rough. I was like that little AEW fans did. That's like that little Chris Jericho Judas effect right on the jaw. He should have been sent off for that. I can't even hold bias for it.
Yeah, no, it was funny. And also, Rudiger trying to clear that chip. Man's on the line trying to head the ball away. Man, just
it was
like the ball
it was weird. It was like he couldn't decide if he was going to kick it or head it. So he went with both, and it both missed.
yeah. It was really weird. Really weird. But
very good. But yeah, but like as we said, Werner and Havertz ran the show last night. It was so good to see them just both playing beautiful football. Like Havertz was on form yesterday. It was lovely to see.
I can't wait to see both of them back in Chelsea shirts as well. This is kind of why I hate the international break. Like, it fits the name of the podcast, but it is a giant blue balls, if we're being honest. The season just starts, you have about 4 or 5 games, you get into the swing of things. Here comes a boring international break. Just to take you out of everything for about 2 weeks and then slap you straight back into it. Do we have another international break, by the way? Because I don't know if we... Do we?
Yeah.
Oh,
when's that one?
Sake. Okay, that's
season,
great.
I thought it was even worse, though, because obviously we had the first international break before the Premier League actually even kicked off, meaning we already didn't have much of a pre-season. And then we had 0 pre-season. That was, to me, just ridiculous. And even worse now, most teams are playing 3 games, including 1 friendly. So it's not even just these fake, competition games, which are the Nations League, which no one cares about, let's be honest. But now they're also adding a 3rd game, which is a friendly. And so I'm like, do you want these players to get injured? Like, what is the point
friendly
here?
baffled me.
Bro, honestly, one thing I'm worried about, like just thinking about all this, the Christmas period, you're going to have so many injuries. So many injuries, man. People aren't going to be able to cope with this. 3 games in a week, and then we've got another 3 games in the next week, and they're all massive games for us.
We have 3 games every week, pretty much. I mean, we're out of the League Cup, so that's a positive. But other than that, we have, 3 games every week, because Champions League is now, we play this coming week, we play Sevilla. The week after, we play Champions League again, and the week after, we play Champions League again, and then I think it's the next international break. I think it's something like that. So,
and then that's another 3 games.
I don't know about that one, if the next international break has friendlies as well.
I wouldn't put it past them at this point.
Yeah, just throw a
definitely
friendly.
not. But let's not be too negative. Kai Havertz and Timo Werner were brilliant yesterday. And I saw this stat, which properly baffled me, that Kai Havertz in 2020 has the 4th highest amount of goals and assists in all of, well, maybe not the world, but in Europe, in the top 5 leagues, behind Lewandowski, Messi and Ronaldo. He's just 2 off Ronaldo, which is just insane, with 31 goals and assists in 2020, which is insane because, I mean, Leverkusen are a good team in the Bundesliga, where he obviously still played more games than for us in 2020. But they're not like Bayern Munich, where you get these numbers. They're still, like, I don't know, a decent club, a good club in the Bundesliga, sometimes playing the Champions League, sometimes just out of it. So to get these numbers with, playing for a club that's not even the best in the country, it's just absolute insanity, absolute superstar. And for him and Timo Werner, both of them obviously getting a goal and an assist last night against Switzerland, just like, I just can't wait to see it properly in full flow. And this isn't even speaking like on Saturday against Southampton, but rather than like in a few weeks, even next season.
Just when they start linking up, and when Ziyech gets thrown back in there as well, it's all gonna. It does get you excited. If anything, the international break gets you more excited for club football. If that's a positive we can take from it. Well, we mentioned about it there. I guess we'll talk about it. The Premier League is coming back this weekend. Finally, it felt like an eternity, but it's coming back. And our first game, lads, is pay-per-view. How are we feeling about that?
Jarring. Well, I'm going to just be outright and say I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm going to be shameless about it. I'm not spending 15 quid. Just for the precedent alone. Nah.
Yeah, it's just...
And don't lie to me and tell me you guys are paying for it either, because I already know you ain't. Wait, is this one it's actually on box office or is it on BT Sport? Because I had a conversation with a fan about this. They were saying, was it games till October or still on BT Sport or something? I don't know. Like, someone
on the Premier League app, it says it's going to be BT Sport box office, so yeah, it's the same. Still have to pay the 15 quid for it.
There's BT Sport box. So that whole argument was pointless then. Well,
yeah, mate.
That was even the point.
It's genuinely crazy. Like, obviously, I live in Austria, so I probably can't even use that feature. But the Sky that we have here, which is Sky Germany, they just don't show it. You don't even have this box office option. But if you think about it, like, for example, The Zone. Obviously, you guys don't have that in the... Maybe we shouldn't mention brand names. Who cares?
Oh, please do.
If you want to sponsor us, please do. Obviously, you don't have that in the UK other than for boxing. But obviously, in so many countries in the world, they have so much football. They have loads of football here. They used to have the Prem until Sky bought it off them again. And like, that's a tenner a month. And you can share it with another person. So 2 people can watch at the same time. So I'm sharing it with a mate. So we pay a £5 a month. And we get like all of the Serie A, all of the La Liga, all of Europa League, all of Champions League, all of that for a £5 a month each. And then they're asking you guys to pay £15 for one game. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is ridiculous. Even
one game as well
would be insane. Like, it's stupid. Like, if you think about it, as away days tickets are £13. Away days tickets at Southampton are £20. So they're pretty much saying £5 more, you're in the ground, but at £15, hey, you can watch on TV in the comfort of your home.
Yeah, it really pissed me off because we as well, like at the start of this season, we all knew that we weren't going to be able to get back to the grounds, and Sky and BT were like, "Don't worry, we're sending every game you can watch on our services if you pay the monthly subscriptions," and a lot of people would have, and then now they're like, "Wait, no, not this game and not this game, and then maybe this game you pay £15 for it. It's absolutely ridiculous how they've just like pulled a fast one on everyone.
But the thing is, we can't even just blame like BT and whoever else for it. Like, this was a vote by the clubs. Like 19 of the 20 Premier League clubs voted for this to go ahead. The only club to vote against it was Leicester. So it's like, you know, we can equally as much have a go, probably less so than BT, because they're told you're allowed to do that. You know, they're a business. You know, they want to make as much money if they're allowed to do that. At the end of the day, everyone would probably. But the Premier League clubs just like don't allow that. It's not like these extra £15, you know, everyone that's a Chelsea fan and watches the Chelsea game, it's not like these £15 all go to the club anyway. Like, it's not like there's not enough TV revenue in the Premier League as it is compared to literally everyone else in the world. So to me, like, it's so crazy that this is even the thing. And then they're wondering why people use so many illegal live streams. Like, obviously they were much harsher on it for Premier League games, so, you know, anyone that does watch them, they're usually in French or Arabic or whatever else. But it's just crazy. I mean, in general, to me, like America, Canada, New Zealand, you know, these countries show every Premier League game on TV, but because of this stupid rule of 3 p.m. kickoffs on a Saturday, as if these people don't go to watch them anyway. So what is this? What is this crazy stuff? We don't even need commentators for these games. Just put them on. Have the time, have the score. That's all I need if I need to watch a football game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. It's ludicrous. Again, so let's talk about the actual game other than having to pay for it, which we all definitely will do. If anyone else is watching, we will do that. Chelsea, Southampton. I'm excited for this one, lads. I really am. You know, we just before the international break, we had that 4-0 against Palace. It was sick. You know, everything started to click a little bit. It was exciting, and it was kind of like, where can we go from that? And then obviously the international break. But then now this is where we pick that up again. Blue balls. We're so on brand. It's perfect. So yeah, can we pick up that where we left off? Can we get back into it? Can the squad gel again? Also, the inclusion of Pulisic and Ziyech is very likely for this one, which makes it even more exciting.
Get to see Werner up front as well. I want to add that to the list because he's been really struggling on that left-hand side. He hasn't really had a lot of impact. I am excited. I'm very excited. A little bit worried about the goalkeeper situation because Mendy's still out, isn't he?
Yes, I think he is. He came back injured, didn't he?
I think, as far as I'm aware, Nizar Kinsella of Goal.com said that there is actually a chance that he might be fit because it turned out that when he came back to Cobham and they kind of scanned him again rather than just what happened on international duty, they found that it's not actually quite that bad. So there is apparently a chance he's fit. I would probably say unlikely.
Yes, please.
But,
I can't be bothered for another game of Kepa. I really want to believe in the redemption arc, but I've been hurt so many times. I can't be bothered for it anymore. I just want some stability between my sticks.
Listen,
That's it now.
We had that in Palace as well. Like, it felt safe for a first time in a while.
I mean, to be fair, Hodgson playing Pulis ball for 90 minutes really helped. But I mean, Mendy didn't really. Mendy dealt with whatever he had to deal with. I'll give him that.
It's so depressing, really. Like, the guy signs, plays 2 games for us, injured. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it isn't a long-term injury, so that's at least good. Even if he does miss the Southampton game, there's a chance he'll be fit for Sevilla or other, like, if not the game up next weekend. But still, it's just annoying. But just to quickly get to your point of Pulisic and Ziyech, I'm so excited for it. Obviously, Ziyech is probably going to come off the bench rather than start, but Pulisic, you'd have to assume, is now fit to start. I mean, he had the whole international break in the USA, obviously, because of certain things going on in the world, not actually playing international football. So, you know, he was at Cobham, had time to get fit, had time to, I don't know, work on things. So it's just exciting. Like Lewis said, hopefully Timo Werner playing up front. That's what we want to see, isn't it? That's what we want to see. And, I mean, Southampton have been a bit weird. They lost to Palace first, then they got knocked out of the League Cup at Brentford, or Bradford, always mix them up, whichever one it is. Then they got battered by Spurs with, like, what, didn't Son score like 4 goals? But then they beat Burnley and West Brom. And, I mean,
we don't like to talk about that. Just listen to this, boys.
Don't see any other Premier League team coming back from 3 goals down. I will just say that.
Listen to this one, boys. Pulisic on the left, Werner up front, Havertz in the centre attacking mid, Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right. How great does that sound?
Brilliant. Except that Mount will start the right wing.
You can dream.
Mason Mount
I
is
do love
inevitable. Run from it, dread it. He will still arrive in the box late. Frank
Listen, Sam,
Lampard-esque.
if you're here now editing this, please edit Thanos' face over Lewis there.
I know we
Go on,
can do
mate,
it
you
as
can't
well.
do that. Yeah, and also, you talk about all the attacking strength though, but the back line against Palace was quite stable, and all things considered. But we had Zuma, Silva, Chilwell, and Asby, and that seems to be probably maybe our strongest back four, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
Zuma and
obviously-
Silva as the start. Oh yeah, go on.
No, that's for sure. With Zuma and Silva for sure. Obviously, what we'll have all season is probably Lampard being unsure between Asby and James. But Chilwell did also pull out of the England squad because of an ongoing foot problem, probably the heel injury that he was out with initially, that played a bit against Spurs and then against Palace. And now he pulled out for it again. It is said that it's precautionary and he might be fit for the weekend. But again, can this just stop happening? I hate international football.
Chilwell didn't even get a game as well.
It's just so jarring, man. Always pops up in the middle of something decent or a decent run, or watching United get battered every week. Then we gotta have international football.
Yeah, let's hope Chilwell's good.
Can I just ask you boys, super quickly, if Chilwell isn't fit, which one of the options would you take? Like Aspi left back, Emerson or Alonso, if we stick to a full back?
Asby left back, bring Ian Matson back on loan if you have to. Anything, just not Alonso and not Emerson anymore.
You've had enough.
I'm so finished. I said the whole summer I didn't care who we got at left back. We could have got anybody. They'd be better than what we have. Didn't care if it was Chilwell, Tagliafico, Tellez, who else, Reguilon, anybody. They're better than Alonso. They're better than Emerson. I'm not going to sit here and pick. And Chilwell's already shown it. He's already the best left back we've had since Ashley Cole, and he's only had one league start. You see how low the bar is?
I mean, I'd be inclined to say, yeah, I'd probably rather have Asby out there and James on the right, just because he could do a job.
Wait, can I just add one thing quickly? I've only just seen this on Twitter. Kante's out of tonight's game due to a muscle injury.
Oh, of course he is.
So I just want to add
Swatting
that.
him in his muscle, that's why. in their big bust up.
Franco's not having any
Lampard said you're not going to the wedding. He went on a furious bike ride for about 7 hours. Pulled a leg.
Alright, have we got any score predictions, lads, for the Southampton game?
You go.
I'm guessing Kepa's going to start, just as a guess, because I'm not sure about Mendy. So I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea, because whenever Kepa's in goal, I do not see a clean sheet on the cards. Even though I'd like to see it, I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, 3-1 Chelsea. I need Timo Werner to score because I've got 20 quid on the line for that. So hopefully Timo Werner double, and Hakim Ziyech just performing a masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, if all of these concerns happen to be out, whether it's Mondi or Chilwell or Kante, if all of these three are out, I'm immediately nowhere near as confident as I would have been if they were fit. It's not good, you know. The Kovacic-Jorginho thing, yeah, it worked for 7 games last season, but usually it don't work that well, especially as a double pivot, because they just love each other too much and keep passing to each other rather than forwards. I mean, fair enough, you know, they're both just great, but...
That's a brilliant way to analyse it, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So then I'm a little less confident and probably wouldn't even be sure we just concede 2, but just hope that HAVERTZ, Pulisic and Kai would just and Timo would just score plenty. So I'm gonna say 3-2, just because why not? You, Jay,
it's difficult, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. I'd probably go more with 3-1. I think we have a good bit of momentum, especially with some of the lads coming back from international form, with inform, you know, like Havertz and Werner. So yeah, I'm gonna say 3-1 as well. Copying him. Right. So yeah. Listen, it'll be a tough pod next week if so. Well, excitingly after this game, very quickly after this game, it's only 3 days later, but the Champions League is back, boys, and we're still in it, and our group is, I don't want to say it because I'm jinxing it, but it's relatively easy, the group.
I like it. I really like this group. I thought we were going to get a lot worse being in pot 2, but we've done well for ourselves. We really have.
To be
I'm
fair.
happy.
I mean, you saw United's group, and that could have been us, but no, absolutely not. We'll be playing Sevilla on Tuesday, which is the hardest game in the group as well. I'm not going to try and downplay Sevilla. They are the Europa League champions, but having Krasnodar and Rennes as well, I'm gassed for the Champions League. I just hope we get out of the group stage and don't face Bayern until later on.
Yes, keep away from Bayern. Should we say Madrid? I want Barca. I feel like now's a good year to get Barcelona. This is the year for it. Hopefully in the semis as well. Another bottle job pending.
I just want as many dead games as possible until I'm allowed to go to the away games again. Because I'd be fuming if we draw Barcelona and I can't go. I was sick last time. I'd be fuming. That's another reason why I was happy about the draw. I'm like, there's no like super close game to me. I'm like, I'll be there in like 2 hours, or super like, for example, Real Madrid. I've always wanted to go to the Bernabeu.
Same.
At least I don't have to be annoyed about that. And it's a good group as in opponent wise. So
yeah. Well, we got. Really. Sorry.
Just to add to that point of what you were saying, if we get Madrid, Thibaut Courtois does not get away with having that walk to the Matthew Harding end alone by himself without fans. He doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Just to add to that point.
I was gonna say Tuesday, get the hardest game out of the way with first as well. I think that could be, that could do well. Sevilla, they're not in bad form. They drew with Barca their last game and they've won the other 2 games, so they've not lost in the league yet. Also, obviously, we all saw literally a month ago, 2 months ago, they won the Europa League, so they are not going to be easy to beat. But I think obviously it depends on what happens at Southampton. But if we go at this with some pace and some venom, I can't see us not winning this game.
Yeah, especially at home. Even though without fans, it's less of a thing whether you play at home or away, but there's still travelling involved. And, being comfortable, I guess, with the dressing room and whatever else. So, especially at home, you'd have to assume so. But then again, let's see who's fit. If Chilwell and Mendy and Kante miss that game as well, it's a bit like for Southampton, just that Sevilla are a lot better than Southampton. So maybe then I wouldn't go 3-2. So, I'm really hoping that these Kante reports turn out to be false, or it turns out to be just minor, and obviously he'll be fine for the weekend, or Sevilla at least. But realistically, you'd have to think we can at least beat them.
It all depends on the lineup for me, because I know with Sevilla, I kind of underestimated them as well. Underestimated them a little bit. Sorry, I'm struggling to get my words out. But yeah, I underestimated them a little bit in my previous videos, but it all depends on the lineup that we have for this match, because Sevilla are a tough side. I do kind of question whether they even care too much about coming out of the top 2, or if they just want to get 3rd place and drop into the Europa League again. Again, it depends on whether we underestimate Sevilla a lot or not. I think regardless, we still have to put a relatively strong lineup out. It's hard because we got these 3 massive games in the space of a week, and I don't know if we play with a more defensive mindset for this sort of match, because I think the main idea for this game is that we try not to expend as much energy as we would want to, because we got the Manchester United game coming up on Saturday. So maybe 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure who starts in defence, because I think the one thing Lampard's going to want to do is establish his main starting back 4, because that's one thing he couldn't do last season and he got a lot of criticism for. But I could see maybe Zuma start, either him next to maybe Zuma and Christensen, because they've been the 2 that's been together for the longest this season, and they're not going to start the the game against Southampton. So I think they'll start the game against Sevilla.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's even last season when we came up against some of the bigger opponents, we did sometimes change to a 5 at the back, and that could be a potential thing to do if we wanted to, just tackle the game differently. I guess, for me, the fact that we do change formation is something I just really like. After a couple of years of Kante and Sarri, who both have philosophies and ways they do things, which is absolutely fine, but after that, having this fluidity now and having such a big squad really is quite refreshing for me. I think I quite like having the idea of not knowing how we're going to tackle each game, because it just makes it a bit more fun.
Yeah, that's an interesting one for me, because as much as I like the fact that Lampard can change it up, I think he's changed it up way too much, because the squad aren't comfortable in any system. Sometimes they are, because we've had shockers in every system, and I'm like, that's why in my opinion, first of all, I'm surprised that you two think we're going to rotate that much for Sevilla. It's still a Champions League game. We don't usually rotate much for the tough Champions League games, even if it's tough on the players and they have to play a lot of games. At the end of the day, they're going to have to. Like, we're not going to be able to just beat Sevilla with our B team. Do you know what I mean? Like,
before we wrap this game up, lads, score predictions. Kind of have to do it. What we say?
2-1 Chelsea. It's just your general generic prediction, but I think it'll be a tight game with Chelsea squeezing it.
Yeah, I go with that as well. 2-1.
Oh, nice. I'm going to be different, because it would be boring if we all said 2-1. I'm going to say, fuck it, 3-2. Big, massive game, end to end. Let's go.
Go on then.
Right. Well, I think that's it, lads. I think we're done for this podcast. Probably should. We'll quickly shout out to the sponsors again. So, if you check the links in the description, you get discounts on football merch. You can get discounts on football games. We all love to save money. Go check them out before you leave. Of course, like and subscribe to Blues Fans TV. We really appreciate that. And lads, should we promote our personal channels?
Yeah, check out Carefree Lewis G on not Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Yeah, check out Carefree Lewis G, and yeah, I think that's it. Peace.
Yeah, check out my channel, LAMPARD, which hopefully is down in the description. Or at Laus1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. That would be great. Follow us on there. And yeah, I mean, thanks, Jay, for hosting. Did well. And excited for the upcoming games, Done with this stupid international break now. Premier League football is back. Chelsea's back. And I'm excited.